Close your eyes, dear listener, and drift with me into a quiet, forgotten winter. A winter that settled over the Wild West so many lifetimes ago. A winter that moved not in days or months, but in soft, endless whispers of snow and silence. Imagine now, gently, that you awaken in the pale hush of dawn. Your breath curls like soft smoke in the chilled air of a frontier cabin. Wooden walls hold back the vast frozen plains beyond. Barely, while your straw mattress crinkles faintly beneath the weight of heavy woolen blankets. The fire has long since surrendered to night, leaving only ash and faint embers. And so you lie there, unmoving, cradled by the slow beat of your own heart, listening to the hush, to the deep winter quiet that holds everything still. Beyond these walls, the world is locked in ice and drifting snow, a white silence that muffles hoofbeats and softens every footstep. Even the wind, when it comes, moves like a tired ghost between weathered barns and frozen creek beds. Yet here, in the dim shelter of your cabin, you remain wrapped in small, human warmth. The sun has not yet broken through the frost-laced windows. Just a blue-gray half-light, cold and ancient, filling the room like mist. Your breath becomes your first companion of the morning, a small cloud that rises, swirls, then disappears, as if the air itself dreams beside you. Outside, cattle stand motionless, coats stiff with frost, fence posts wear shimmering crowns of rime, and the prairie stretches into eternity, as though winter has paused the world itself. But you, inside, are still and safe for now. You shift slightly, listening to the gentle rustle of straw and cloth. The sound, simple and familiar, grounds you in this frozen morning. Here, there is no rush, no clamoring noise of the modern world. Only breath, heartbeat, and the slow turning of dawn toward day. Let your shoulders sink deeper into the bedding. Feel the weight of blankets pressing gently over you like an ancient embrace. Allow your thoughts to wander without hurry, like drifting snowflakes caught in a soft breeze. This is the beginning of a long, quiet journey, through stories older than memory, through winter's hush, toward restful sleep. And so, dear listener, remain here with me, breathing slowly, gently, as we drift together back into the soft, forgotten winter of the Wild West. In this quiet place, the world outside feels distant, a memory wrapped in frost and pale morning light. The wind may whisper against the cabin walls, but it cannot reach your resting mind. Here, within these wooden planks and heavy quilts, you are held in gentle stillness. Imagine the air, so cold it feels sharp against your skin, yet inside, your breath keeps you warm, each exhale a soft promise of life. The cabin, though small and worn, becomes a fortress of calm, a place where time itself slows to the rhythm of your heartbeat. Beyond the walls, prairie grasses lie buried under drifting snow. Creeks sleep beneath ice, silent and unmoving. In the sky, a pale canvas of winter gray watches over a land hushed into dreaming. Yet none of this demands your attention now. It exists only to cradle you deeper into rest. You might picture the rough-hewn table by the window, a simple bench beside it, the wood grain smoothed by years of quiet meals and colder mornings. A kettle, blackened by many fires, sits patiently on the hearth, waiting to bring warmth once more. Every object is softened by frost's touch and winter's slow patience. And you, lying quietly, wrapped in wool and memory, feel your body grow heavier with each passing breath, your limbs sinking, your thoughts drifting, like snowflakes swirling in a gentle breeze. There is nothing you must do, nowhere you must go, only to float here, safe and still. Outside, the slow hours of dawn become dim, the horizon hidden by a gentle shroud of snow-laden clouds. No bright sunlight startles you awake, only this muted, comforting gray that asks nothing of you. It lets you rest, lets you remain. Perhaps, in your mind's eye, you see the outline of a barn, leaning slightly under the weight of snow, its boards rough and time-worn, but standing yet, stubborn against the wind. Inside, livestock huddled close, sharing warmth, born of simple survival. Their quiet breathing becomes part of the morning's calm song. You might remember, faintly, the work that waits, splitting, kindling, fetching water, mending fences, but those thoughts drift past like distant clouds, leaving no trace on your resting mind. Now is not the time for worry or plans. Now is the time for letting go, breath by slow breath. So stay with me in this quiet winter morning. Feel the peace settle deeper into your chest, the calm spreading slowly to your hands and feet. And as the frost outside holds the world in stillness, let your thoughts become slow and soft, just drifting, like snow, across the silent prairie of sleep. The day outside the cabin lengthens slowly. Yet here, inside this quiet shelter, time loses its meaning. Each breath you take drifts lazily across the hush of morning, as if carried by an unseen current. And your thoughts, once sharp, soften into slow, gentle ripples. Imagine the cabin walls, weathered by many winters, each crack and knot in the timber telling a silent story of resilience. In this space, the past feels close, but it is a past without urgency, without demand, only old echoes, wrapped in the calm hush of snow. Beyond the windows, the prairie seems endless, rolling hills hidden beneath thick drifts, sagebrush buried under white mounds, frozen streams winding unseen, and above, the sky a pale, dreaming sheet, the sun hidden, content to wait. The world breathes in long, slow sighs, as if it, too, wishes to sleep. Inside, the air remains cold, but you have grown used to its touch. The bite of frost has softened into familiarity, and beneath layers of wool and hide, your body holds its own quiet warmth, a steady, living heat that feels even more precious in winter's embrace. Your eyes may close for a moment, or longer. In the darkness behind your eyelids, you might see shapes and shadows, the soft curve of snowdrifts, a distant herd moving slowly against the wind, or the outline of bare trees, branches etched against the winter sky. These images float past without effort, as if your mind has become a gentle stream, carrying fragments of memory, whispers of the past, or perhaps nothing at all. Only softness and drift. There is nothing to hold on to, nothing to resist, only the slow surrender to the weight of your own drowsiness. And should you listen closely, in that quiet between heartbeats, you might hear the creak of the cabin settling, the faint rustle of wind around the door, or the soft sigh of breath against your pillow, each sound part of a lullaby written by winter itself. Your body, heavy and warm under the blankets, sinks deeper still. The simple mattress beneath you becomes a raft upon this still sea of quiet, and the horizon of sleep draws nearer, slow and patient. No need to hurry. It will come in its own time, like snowfall drifting onto open plains. So remain here, dear listener. Let each breath be slower than the last, each thought softer, each moment gentler. The day outside may continue, but your mind drifts far from clocks or calendars, floating instead in the silent grace of winter's peace. Beyond these cabin walls, the prairie stretches in every direction, a quiet, wide expanse, where time itself seems to drift, slowed by frost and falling snow. No roads to follow, no cities on the horizon, only endless winter fields, softly rolling under the weight of silence. Yet here inside, you remain sheltered, held by timber walls that remember many seasons before this one, and a roof that listens patiently to the slow whisper of wind outside. Even the cold feels gentler now, softened by layers of wool and the slow, comforting rhythm of breath. Perhaps your thoughts begin to wander to the simple tools resting beside the hearth, an iron kettle waiting to warm water, a small wooden stool worn smooth by years of quiet use, or a single candle its flame flickering gently, offering a glow just bright enough to soothe, never to. The air smells faintly of smoke, and winter-dried herbs hung near the window. Lavender, sage, and mint, gathered in warmer months, now serving as small guardians of memory and calm. Their scent drifts lightly through the stillness, like a soft hand brushing the edges of thought. In the far distance, a coyote might call once across the snow, its cry lonely, yet low and unhurried, soon swallowed by the vast quiet of the plains. And then, once more, only the hush remains, deeper, softer than before, a hush so complete, it seems to slow your very heartbeat. Your breath, steady and warm, is your companion now, rising and falling like gentle waves upon a quiet sea. Each inhale draws in calm. Each exhale releases what little tension remains, over and over, until even the act of breathing feels effortless, automatic, deeply peaceful. And as you lie there, warm beneath layered blankets, your body grows heavier still, muscles slacken, shoulders loosen, and the small weight of the day's thoughts begins to melt away. What remains is only softness, a drifting awareness, neither fully awake nor fully asleep. Outside, snow continues its silent descent, covering fences, roofs, and frozen ground alike in a single, unbroken quilt of white. No urgency in its falling, only patient, endless repetition. The same soft movement, hour after hour, and in that slow, quiet dance, you find your own peace mirrored. So, dear listener, stay here in this moment a while longer. Let your breath remain slow and even your thoughts gentle as snowflakes. There is nothing more to do, nothing more to know, only this. You are safe, you are warm, and winter's quiet has come to carry you further into rest. Time drifts onward, though you barely feel it. Minutes slipping quietly past like snowflakes dissolving on an open palm. The hush of the winter prairie becomes part of you, a gentle silence that soothes the edges of thought. Imagine now, in a quiet shelter of your cabin, a single log on the hearth, catching a soft flame, its glow spilling across worn floorboards, painting gentle patterns on the walls. The fire speaks in tiny crackles and murmurs, but never loud enough to disturb, only enough to remind you that warmth still lives within these walls. Beyond the windows, frost etches, delicate designs on the glass, each pattern unique, fleeting, a frozen script written overnight by unseen hands. You watch them with heavy eyelids, tracing lines and swirls without effort, until even these patterns blur and soften in your gaze. Outside, the horizon remains hidden by drifting snow, a shifting white curtain that muffles every sound, swallowing even the wind's quiet song. And in that wide, patient silence, your thoughts slow even further, becoming less words, more feelings, a calm weight, settling warmly in your chest. Perhaps now your mind drifts to distant memories, faint recollections of laughter around a winter hearth, the smell of fresh bread from a clay oven, or the soft brush of woolen mittens against your cheek as a child. These memories come not as stories, but as gentle echoes, familiar, comforting. Your breath deepens, each exhale slower than the last, like the low, steady beat of a drum in the distance, guiding you further from waking. Even the small worries that once stirred beneath your ribs lose their shape, dissolving into the warm hush. The world beyond your cabin walls feels far away now, a world of snowdrifts and quiet barns, of frostbitten fences and empty, frozen fields. But none of it troubles you here, wrapped as you are in the weight of blankets and the softness of habit. Your limbs lie heavy against the mattress. The straw beneath you whispers faintly as you shift, reminding you that you are held, supported, and safe. There is no need to move, no need to think, only to rest, to surrender to the calm pull of sleep. Let your mind float, gentle as a feather falling onto new snow. No hurry, no resistance, only the soft promise of rest carried on each breath. And as the fire flickers lower, its glow becomes part of your dreams. A single, quiet ember warming the long winter night. The cabin grows quieter still, as if even the timbers, seasoned by countless winters, have chosen to rest alongside you. Outside, snow drifts softly against the door, piling in slow, patient layers that hush every sound. And in that deepening stillness, your breath becomes the only rhythm you need. Imagine, if you wish, a slow walk through the snow-covered yard beyond the cabin, your boots crunching gently on fresh powder. The air so cold it stings your cheeks in tender greeting. Yet there is no wind to hurry you, no task to weigh your steps, only the soft gray sky above and white earth below. You pause beside the barn, hand resting lightly on its weathered boards, feeling the faint warmth within, where cattle shift slowly, exhaling misty breath that curls into the cold. Their quiet presence is reassuring, a shared endurance against the long, frozen months. All around, the prairie stretches out, silent, unbroken, immense, a landscape both lonely and comforting, where each small sign of life becomes precious. A lone bird perched on a fence rail, feathers fluffed against the cold, a single tuft of grass poking through the snow, or the delicate trace of rabbit tracks winding their uncertain way toward shelter. Yet even these sights fade softly as your thoughts grow slower. What once seemed sharp becomes blurred by drowsiness, as if snow is gently falling over memory itself. And in that soft blur, you find a new warmth, not of the hearth, but of calm acceptance. Returning in your mind to the cabin door, you slip back inside, the scent of wood smoke and wool greeting you once more, the low glow of coals waiting patiently in the hearth. Your body welcomes the return, sinking again into familiar blankets, the straw mattress whispering beneath you. Now, the heaviness in your limbs deepens further. Muscles slacken until they hold nothing. Thoughts drift until they become quiet shapes instead of words. The world outside, frozen fences, drifting snow. The pale horizon remains unchanged, but it lies far beyond your closed eyes, gentle and distant. So, dear listener, stay here with me, breathing slowly, gently, feeling each inhale. Fill your chest with quiet. Each exhale, release what remains of the waking world, the weight of blankets, the softness of straw, the low hum of firelight, all become part of your dream. Let yourself drift without effort or intention, as though you were a flake of snow falling softly through the long, silent winter night. Coming to rest at last, in the deep peace that awaits. The hush within the cabin becomes deeper now, as if the very air has learned to rest alongside you. Every small sound, the settling of wood, the faint sigh of wind around the eaves, comes wrapped in quiet, softened by distance and time. Outside, the day lingers in pale winter gray, though the hour no longer matters. For here inside, you have slipped beyond clocks and calendars, beyond the counting of minutes and hours. Instead, there is only the slow rhythm of breath and the comforting weight of blankets holding you close. In the gentle haze of drowsiness, your mind drifts again to the frozen prairie beyond the cabin walls, where snow gathers against fence rails and drifts into soft white hills, where bare trees stand, like quiet sentinels, branches etched in frost, a stillness so complete it feels eternal, untouched by hurry or worry. Perhaps you imagine the slow track of a wagon wheel left behind in the snow, its curve already softened by falling flakes, soon to disappear entirely beneath winter's patient hand. Even memories, it seems, become gentle and formless under this drifting white. Inside, you remain cocooned in warmth. The mattress beneath you cradles every contour, the layered blankets press gently against your chest and shoulders, grounding you in calm. Each exhale carries away what little tension remains. Each inhale brings quiet and softness deeper within. Thoughts arrive like feathers on a breeze, light, delicate, and gone before they can take shape. Your mind neither holds them nor sends them away. It simply lets them drift past, until even these thoughts become little more than a soft hum, fading into the hush. The hearth glows faintly still, its embers breathing slow orange light into the shadowed corners of the room. A small promise of warmth that requires nothing from you. Even the fire, once bright and alive, has settled into quiet rest. And so, dear listener, let your eyelids grow heavy now, heavier still, as if each blink brings you closer to the border of dreams. Let your breath guide you, in soft and deep, out, slow and empty, a rhythm older than memory, as natural as falling snow. Outside, the winter sky darkens into dusk, but here within, you remain untouched by the chill. You lie still and warm, your body yielding completely to rest. The weight of waking thoughts slips away, until only peaceful drifting remains. Stay here, floating gently, wrapped in warmth, in quiet, and in the soft promise that there is nothing you must do. Only this moment of calm, this gentle surrender to the coming night. Evening settles softly across the frozen prairie, a slow dimming of light that feels less like an ending and more like the world drawing a quiet breath. The snow beyond the cabin turns a shade of twilight blue, shadows lengthening without haste. Inside, the hush becomes deeper still. The last faint glow of the hearth flickers lazily across rough-hewn beams, casting shifting shapes that dance, then disappear. But they dance so slowly now, so gently, that their movement feels almost like dreaming. Your breath, steady and calm, anchors you in this gentle moment. Each inhale carries in the soft chill of winter air, mixed with the faint scent of wood smoke. Each exhale carries away fragments of thought, leaving only calm. Perhaps, in your drifting mind, you see the shape of distant hills, softened by snow, or a lone horse standing quietly beside a fence, its breath rising in silver clouds that fade into dusk. These images appear and fade, asking nothing, leaving only the peaceful feeling of vastness and quiet. Within your cabin, your body sinks deeper into rest. Blankets weigh comfortingly across your chest. Your limbs lie heavy and still. The slow rhythm of your heart becomes the only sound you notice. A soft drumbeat, unhurried, patient. Outside, the prairie becomes shadow and frost, the last colors of the sky fading into the deep blue of night. Yet the world beyond the window remains gentle, offering no urgency, no noise, only the quiet companionship of winter. Your thoughts, too, become softer now, more feeling than word, more warmth than memory. A drifting sense of gratitude for shelter, for warmth, for this quiet hour between day and sleep. And in this space between waking and dreaming, there is no need to remember what tomorrow brings. No fences to mend, no cattle to check, no wood to split, only this slow breath, this quiet heartbeat, and a soothing weight of rest settling into your bones. So let your eyelids grow heavier still. Let your breath slow, as though time itself has slowed with you. Feel the mattress beneath you, solid and sure. The blankets above, soft and comforting. Allow yourself to drift, like snow carried by the gentlest breeze. Carry it not toward any destination, but simply deeper into the soft, timeless quiet of night. And as the prairie outside yields fully to darkness, you remain safe, warm, and gently adrift on the calm sea of sleep. Night deepens across the frontier now. The sky above your quiet cabin becomes a vast expanse of deep, velvety blue, scattered with cold, distant stars. Their light is pale, gentle, never harsh, never waking, as if they, too, have softened to match the stillness below. Inside, the hush is complete. Only the slow, faint creak of timber settles now and then. As the old walls shift gently in the cold, your breath becomes part of this silence, rising and falling so slowly it seems. The very air has fallen into drowsy rhythm with you. Perhaps, in your drifting thoughts, you see the faint glint of frost on a windowsill, tiny crystals catching what little starlight filters through, shimmering briefly before the darkness folds around them again. Even these small, quiet moments feel timeless, suspended between memory and dream. Your body, wrapped in wool and warmth, becomes heavier still. Blankets press softly against you, grounding each breath in comfort. Your muscles loosen until even the thought of movement feels distant, unnecessary, replaced by the calm weight of surrender. Outside, the prairie holds its breath. Snow-covered fields stretch unseen into darkness, fences half buried in drifts, trees outlined in pale frost. Yet these shapes no longer pull your mind outward. Instead, they lull you further inward, toward rest. Thoughts pass like shadows across still water, unhurried, without shape or urgency. They come and go, leaving barely a ripple behind. In this quiet hour, you no longer chase them. You simply watch, then let them fade. And slowly, your awareness itself becomes softer, edges blurring until the boundary between thought and dream dissolves. Even the idea of sleep becomes unnecessary. What remains is only drifting, floating, being. The cabin around you, built of old timber and quiet patience, becomes part of your calm. Its walls hold back the cold night. Its roof guards your rest, and its familiar shadows wrap you in gentle safety. So stay here, dear listener. Feel each breath deepen, each heartbeat slow to match the calm hush that holds the winter prairie. Outside, the snow keeps falling, quietly, endlessly, but you need not see it, need not know where or why. Your world now is warmth, stillness, and the quiet pull of sleep. And as you drift further, remember, there is nothing you must do, no thoughts you must keep, no memory you must hold. Only this gentle letting go, this peaceful fall into rest. The night outside becomes deeper still, a velvet darkness stretched wide across the frozen land, soft and unbroken. Stars above remain distant, their pale shimmer a quiet promise rather than a call to wake. Inside your small cabin, the hush feels almost complete, a silence so gentle it soothes even the faintest ripple of thought. The old timbers hold their warmth, the straw mattress cradles your weight, and the blankets become part of you, heavy, soft, and deeply familiar. Your breath moves in slow rhythm now, filling your chest with quiet calm. Out, releasing what remains of the waking world. With every cycle, you drift deeper, as though each exhale lowers you softly into darker, quieter waters of rest. Perhaps now, behind closed eyes, you see small memories flicker, a lantern swinging gently in a stable, casting circles of golden light, a snow-covered path leading away from the cabin door, disappearing into drifting white, or the slow bend of bare branches under a quiet weight of snow. These images come and go, softer each time, until they become less picture, more feeling. The comfort of remembering, without needing to hold on. Even the shape of the prairie itself fades gently into the background of your thoughts. Your body feels heavier than before, muscles slacken completely, shoulders settle into the mattress, and your arms lie warm and unmoving. The steady beat of your heart is slow, sure, and deeply calming, as if it, too, has chosen to rest. Outside, the snow still drifts silently against fence and barn, covering yesterday's tracks, softening every edge. But the world beyond the cabin walls feels far away now. It's chill, unable to reach you through layers of wool, straw, and sleep. In this quiet, you may sense the faintest glow of embers in the hearth, a soft orange flicker behind your closed eyes, offering gentle warmth that asks for nothing in return. It keeps no time, holds no urgency, simply glows patiently beside you. Thoughts slow even further, becoming loose threads drifting in the quiet. No story to finish, no answer to find, only the gentle tide of breathing, the comforting pull of rest. So remain here, dear listener, float softly in the dark hush of winter, your body growing heavier with each breath. Feel the mattress beneath you, the blankets over you, the quiet around you, and know that for now, you need do nothing at all. Outside, night continues its slow passage across the sky, but here, within you, are already falling softly and safely into deeper sleep. The hours pass quietly, marked only by the slow movement of darkness across the snowbound prairie. Time itself seems to have softened, becoming less a measure and more a gentle drifting, snow falling onto open fields. Inside your quiet cabin, the hush has become complete. Even the small sounds, a settling beam, the faint sigh of wind along the walls, blend into the calm, unnoticed by your resting mind. You lie still, body heavy and warm, as though you've been here for centuries, untouched by worry or cold. Your breath, slow and steady, becomes the quietest lullaby. In, filling you with soft calm. Out, releasing the last fragments of thought. With each cycle, you drift deeper, the waking world slipping further from reach. Perhaps now your mind drifts to gentle memories, blurred and comforting. A memory of gathering firewood under a pale winter sun, the rough feel of bark under cold-numbed fingers, or the distant sight of smoke rising from your cabin chimney, a sign of home and warmth. These thoughts arrive like small snowflakes, each one soft and unique, yet none stays for long. Each drifts gently past, fading before it can disturb your calm. Outside, the snow continues its quiet work, filling ruts in the frozen ground, gathering softly atop fences and roof lines, smoothing the sharp lines of yesterday. And in that endless, patient snowfall, the world feels forgiven of hurry and noise. Your body lies unmoving now, the weight of blankets pressing gently across chest and shoulders, the mattress cradling every curve, holding you steady against the pull of sleep. Even your heartbeat feels slower, as if it, too, has chosen to rest alongside you. In this quiet, the soft orange ember in the hearth still glows, its light no longer enough to wake, only enough to soothe, to remind you of warmth, held close against winter's long dark. Thoughts grow softer still, less like words, and more like drifting warmth, a quiet appreciation for shelter, for warmth, for the simple act of breathing And so, dear listener, stay in this moment a while longer. Let eyelids remain heavy, breath remain slow, and a gentle hush of winter hold you close. Outside, the snow may fall without end, but here inside, you are safe, warm, and deeply at peace. There is nothing more to do, no story to finish, only this slow surrender to rest, this quiet slipping into sleep. Night deepens further now, settling over the prairie like a thick, quiet blanket of shadow and frost. Stars wheel slowly overhead, patient and distant, their cold shimmer softened by drifting clouds. Yet within your cabin, the world feels smaller, warmer, a single quiet space, untouched by the vastness outside. You lie still, heavy beneath layered wool and fur, breath moving softly in the hush. Every inhale feels a little deeper, every exhale slower, as though your body has remembered how to rest completely. The straw mattress whispers faintly beneath your weight, small creaks that fade into the hush, comforting rather than sharp. Your thoughts slow further, like the last few leaves clinging to bare branches before winter winds carry them away. Images come and go without effort. The quiet glow of lantern light on rough wooden walls, the simple shape of a tin cup resting beside the hearth, the faint outline of frost blooming on the window glass. Each thought becomes softer, less defined, not something to follow, but something to watch drift gently past. Even the memory of the day, of cold mornings, chores unfinished, plans made, loses shape under the weight of stillness. Outside, the snow keeps falling without hurry, covering fences, smoothing the ridges of frozen ground, burying old footprints until the prairie appears untouched, endless. Its patience mirrors your own growing calm, a quiet acceptance that nothing needs to be rushed. Your body lies heavier now, muscles loose, shoulders sinking deeper into warmth. The gentle pressure of blankets feels like an old friend's embrace, steady, familiar, and deeply safe. Heartbeat, slow, and even keeps time not with clocks, but with the soft rhythm of breathing. Perhaps in the soft dark behind your eyes, you see the gentle flicker of an ember in the hearth. Its glow fades and returns, as if breathing with you, a small living warmth in the deep winter night. Your mind drifts without resistance now. Thoughts become less words, more feelings. Gratitude, softness, quiet, surrender. They ripple gently outward until even those feelings blur into formless calm. So remain here, dear listener. Let each breath carry you a little further from wakefulness, a little deeper into the slow current of sleep. Outside, the snow falls on, unseen and unheard. But here within, you are already drifting, carried softly beyond the need to know or to remember. There is nothing more to do, only this moment, this calm, this gentle, inevitable falling into sleep. The night outside stretches on, vast and slow, its quiet deepening with every hour. Clouds drift lazily across the face of the moon, softening its cold light until even the shadows on snow seem to rest. Yet inside your small cabin, the hush has settled so deeply it feels almost like a dream. Your breath moves in long, unhurried waves, in filling your chest with calm, out, carrying away the last thin threads of wakefulness. Each cycle feels slower, gentler, until even the thought of breathing becomes part of the quiet. Perhaps now, in the gentle haze behind closed eyes, you see small fragments of the day just past. A glimpse of drifting snow piling high against the fence, a memory of rough wool against your skin as you dressed by morning's faint light, or the faint glimmer of frost on a window, catching what little sun had broken through the clouds. But these images blur and soften almost immediately, their edges lost in the gentle drift of thought, leaving behind only a feeling of cold weather and quiet endurance. Outside, the snow keeps falling, covering every sign of yesterday's passing. Even the narrow path from barn to cabin has vanished under patient drifts, as though no footsteps had ever crossed it. Yet you feel no need to check, no worry for what lies beyond these walls. Only the growing heaviness of rest. Your body now feels completely supported by the straw mattress beneath you. Blankets lie across your chest and shoulders like the soft weight of a winter night. Every muscle slackens further, sinking into warmth and quiet, until movement itself feels like a distant memory. The hearth's ember glows faintly still, a small, stubborn promise of warmth in the darkness. Its light dances gently on old timbers, but so dimly now that it feels closer to memory than fire. Yet even this small glow brings comfort, its quiet presence asking nothing in return. Thoughts become fewer now, drifting slower, softer, until they dissolve into the stillness inside your chest. No longer sentences or even words, just feelings, then only calm. So let yourself drift, dear listener. With every breath, float further from the need to remember, from the need to know. Outside, the winter night continues, timeless and patient. But within, you are already sinking gently into the deeper quiet of sleep. Remain here, wrapped in warmth and hush, held softly between memory and dream, until even these words fade, leaving only the gentle tide of rest to carry you further. The hush within the cabin now feels complete, so deep and soft that it seems to blur even the line between your breath and the quiet around you. Outside, snow still drifts against the old wooden walls, but its movement feels slow, patient, almost endless. Your breath rises and falls, each inhale bringing a little more calm, each exhale carrying you further into stillness. The straw mattress beneath you feels familiar and grounding, every small shift in its shape only deepening your sense of rest. Blankets lie heavy across chest and legs, pressing gently, reassuringly, Like an old friend keeping watch, perhaps your mind drifts to the shapes of winter beyond these walls. Snow-laden fence rails leaning under white weight, a small shed half buried in drifts, or the faint, quiet bend of prairie grass frozen in place, never moving. These images pass slowly, like distant clouds across a twilight sky. They bring no urgency, ask for no memory, only drift quietly through your thoughts, then fade. The slow dance of the embers in the hearth continues, each glow and dim a quiet heartbeat of its own. Its light, softer than candle flame, pulls gently on old timber and rough floorboards, then fades back to shadow. Yet even this gentle flicker feels slower now, as though the fire itself has learned to rest alongside you. Your body has grown so heavy now, arms lying unmoving, shoulders slack, legs comfortably supported by the straw. Every small tension you once carried dissolves with each breath, replaced by warmth and softness. Thoughts no longer arrive in words, they float in gently, shapeless, softer than snowflakes, and melt before they can be noticed. What remains is only calm, a vast, quiet expanse inside you, as open as the prairie sky. Outside, the cold deepens, and stars wheel slowly overhead, unseen behind drifting clouds. Yet none of that reaches you now. Your world has narrowed gently to this bed, this warmth, this slow tide of breath and heartbeat. So let go a little more, dear listener. Sink deeper still, beyond even the thought of sleep, into the quiet space where breath moves by itself and time itself seems to pause. No need to stir. No need to remember tomorrow's chores or yesterday's cold. Here, there is only the soft, inevitable drift into rest. Outside, the snow falls, quiet and endless. But here, within you are already adrift on the calm sea of night. Night has settled fully now, its darkness spread wide across the frozen prairie. A quiet so deep and complete it feels as if the world itself has paused to rest. Above, unseen behind clouds, the stars still turn in their slow, patient dance. But here inside, none of that matters now. Your breath has slowed to match the hush. Each inhale gentle and deep, each exhale softer, carrying you further from thought into calm surrender. The simple weight of blankets holds you close, steadying you against the slow pull of sleep. Perhaps now your drifting mind pictures the world beyond these walls. Snow piled high against the fence posts, the gentle curve of drifts hiding what lay beneath, an empty water trough, frozen over in smooth, cold glass, and the faintest trace of animal tracks, winding away, already half erased by falling snow. These images come gently, without effort, not sharp memories, but soft impressions, feelings of winter's quiet, rather than clear sights. They rise and fade, leaving only calm in their place. Inside, the last ember in the hearth glows faintly still, its small, patient warmth a reminder that even in winter's longest night, there is always something steady and warm to return to. Yet even that glow asks nothing of you now, only to watch, then drift beyond watching. Your body lies heavy, so deeply settled it feels part of the bed itself. Muscles slacken fully, shoulders resting, hands still and warm beneath the covers. Even the small weight of thought slips further away, leaving a quiet, open space inside. Outside, the prairie lies hushed beneath its heavy quilt of snow. Fences and sheds and distant fields erased into softness, as if winter itself wishes to soothe every sharp line. And in that wide, silent world, your own quiet becomes deeper, matching its slow rhythm. Thoughts arrive now only as a gentle tide, soft, wordless feelings, drifting closer, then fading without a trace. There is no story to finish, no answer to find, only this slow, inevitable drift. So stay here, dear listener. Remain wrapped in warmth and hush, your breath, the only gentle movement in the stillness. Outside, the snow keeps falling, unhurried and endless. But here, within, you are already far beyond its reach, adrift on the calm sea of sleep. There is nothing more to hold on to, nothing more to let go, only the quiet and the deeper quiet beyond it. The night outside feels endless now, as if it stretches beyond the horizon, quiet and unbroken. The snow continues its patient, silent descent, covering the prairie in softer and softer layers, until even yesterday's tracks vanish completely. Inside your small cabin, the hush has become so deep it feels like part of the walls themselves, a quiet that settles around you and within you, softening every thought, slowing every breath. Your body, wrapped in blankets, sinks further still into the straw mattress, until even the idea of movement feels distant, almost forgotten. Perhaps, in the drifting space behind your closed eyes, you see faint shapes of winter stillness, an old wooden gate barely visible under white drifts, a lantern hanging unused beside the door, glass frosted over, or the curve of the roof heavy with fresh snow, silent and unmoving. These images appear gently, asking nothing from you. Not sharp memories, just soft echoes of a winter long ago, or perhaps one that never was. They fade quickly, leaving only a sense of calm and the slow, gentle pull of rest. Your breath has become quieter now, shallower but peaceful. Each inhale feels cool and calm. Each exhale carries you deeper into softness. Heartbeat slow, even so gentle, it feels like the quiet ticking of something older than thought. Beyond the window, the prairie lies silent beneath its thick blanket of white. Sheds, fences, and far-off trees vanish into shadow and snow, until the world outside becomes less a place and more a feeling. Cold, still, and eternal. Yet none of that cold reaches you here. Inside, warmth holds you gently from the last glowing ember in the hearth, from the weight of blankets, and from your own quiet breath. Your limbs feel heavier than ever, shoulders slack, hands soft and open under the covers. The mattress beneath you cradles every curve, supporting you without asking anything in return. Even the thought of the coming morning feels distant, softened by the hush of night. Thoughts have grown so slow now, they no longer form words or questions, only soft shapes, drifting without aim or need. Each one passes gently, leaving your mind emptier, quieter than before. So remain here, dear listener. Let the world outside fall away completely, until all that's left is breath, warmth, and the quiet drift toward dreams. The snow beyond the cabin walls keeps falling, without end. But you, wrapped in the calm of winter's hush, have already surrendered to sleep. There is nothing more to do, only this soft, gentle falling inward. The night outside has deepened into something almost timeless, a darkness so complete, it feels unmeasured, unhurried, stretching far beyond what eyes could see. Soft and absolute. Snow keeps falling gently on the prairie, patient as breath, its quiet weight smoothing every shape beneath. Inside your cabin, the hush holds steady, a silence so deep it seems to cradle your thoughts, softening them until they dissolve completely. The last ember in the hearth glows faintly still, its small light, gentle and low, never bright enough to wake. Your breath moves slowly now, in, cool and calm, out, softer still, each exhale carrying you deeper from waking. It feels as though even your breathing is drifting, like snowflakes falling through quiet night air. In your mind, faint images appear, softer than memory. The shape of a frost-laced window, delicate patterns caught in pale starlight, a wooden fence, half buried under snow, its rails softened by white drifts, or the slow bend of snow-heavy branches, silent under the winter sky. These thoughts don't stay. They come and go like clouds across the moon. They carry no urgency, no story to finish, only a soft, comforting presence before fading gently away. Your body lies deeply settled now, limbs heavy, shoulders slack, hands warm beneath layered wool. The mattress cradles your weight completely, its faint scent of straw grounding you further in quiet, beyond the walls. The prairie becomes a single unbroken field of white and shadow. Old paths and fences vanish beneath drifts, and even the horizon itself blurs into the sky. Yet none of that cold, none of that emptiness can touch you here. Inside, warmth holds you like an old promise kept. The gentle pressure of blankets, the low glow of ember light, and your own breath's steady rhythm. Thoughts slow even further, until they are less than whispers, soft pulses of calm that rise and fade, without form or name. All that remains is a quiet awareness, not quite awake, not yet dreaming, floating softly in between. So stay here, dear listener. Let each breath draw you deeper into this warm, silent space. Beyond the window, snow keeps falling. But here, inside, time itself feels paused. Breath and heartbeat, the only movement left. There is nothing to remember, nothing to do, only the gentle surrender to rest. A falling so soft it feels like drifting on air. The hush within your cabin has become so complete now. It feels as though even your thoughts must whisper to avoid disturbing it. Outside, the prairie remains blanketed in drifting snow. Slow, patient, and without end. Your breath moves softly in the darkness, in carrying calm through your chest and shoulders, letting go of even the faintest remnants of wake. Each exhale feels like a quiet sigh of relief, carrying you deeper into stillness. Perhaps now, in the gentle dimness, behind closed eyes, you glimpse the faintest shapes of forgotten places. A cabin door frosted over with delicate ice crystals, a weathered fence post peeking above deep snowdrifts, or the soft bend of prairie grass, frozen in midsway by winter's breath. These images are softer than memory, closer to feeling than to sight. They rise gently, then dissolve without leaving a trace. Like snowflakes melting on warm skin, your body lies so deeply settled that it feels almost weightless. Though blankets rest heavy across chest and legs, they comfort rather than bind. The mattress beneath you supports every quiet breath, every soft beat of your heart, without asking anything in return. Beyond the cabin walls, the prairie has vanished into night's shadow and snow, sheds and barns buried in drifts, pathways erased until only a white expanse remains. Yet the world outside feels distant, as though it belongs to another time entirely. Inside, a single ember in the hearth glows its last, a small, stubborn warmth in the darkness. Its faint light dances gently along old timbers and straw, then fades again, a heartbeat of orange warmth in the quiet. Your thoughts are slower still, barely forming at all. No words, no stories, just drifting impressions that pass without effort, leaving nothing behind but calm. So, stay here, dear listener, wrapped in blankets, breath steady and quiet, your body heavy and warm. Beyond the window, the snow keeps falling, unhurried and endless. But here, within you are already drifting beyond its reach. There is nothing to remember, nothing to plan, nothing left to do, only this quiet moment, this breath, this gentle surrender to sleep. Let yourself float, softer than snow, deeper than shadow, into the peaceful hush that winter night keeps so well. The winter night has grown so deep now that it feels beyond measuring, an endless hush stretching across the snow-covered prairie, as if even time itself has paused to rest. Outside, snow continues to drift in soft, silent layers, hiding the world under its gentle weight. Inside your cabin, the quiet has become part of you. Your breath rises and falls so slowly that even your own listening mind can barely follow. Each inhale brings calm deeper into your chest. Each exhale carries the last remnants of wakefulness further away. Perhaps now your drifting thoughts catch faint glimpses of old, softened shapes. A snow-covered roofline barely visible under moonlight. The curve of a frozen water trough, untouched through the longest hours of night. Or the fragile lace of frost spreading quietly across cold window glass. These visions float past without urgency, like leaves carried on a gentle stream. They ask for nothing, hold no story to finish, only brief comfort before dissolving back into the hush. Your body lies heavy and unmoving, as though it has always been part of this bed. Blankets hold you in gentle warmth, pressing lightly against chest and shoulders, anchoring each slow breath. The straw mattress beneath you becomes softer with each moment, cradling you so completely that even the idea of movement feels distant, unnecessary. Beyond the walls, the prairie disappears into darkness and snow. Paths, fences, and barns blurred into formless shapes, until they are no longer separate from the night itself. Yet none of that cold, none of that empty space can reach the warmth you've settled into now. A faint ember in the hearth glows still, soft as a whispered memory. Its dim light flickers against old wooden walls, but even this glow has slowed, quieted, choosing rests beside you. Thoughts slow until they become less than words. Just a gentle sense of comfort, safety, and surrender, drifting deeper than thought itself. So remain here, dear listener, in the hush of this cabin, wrapped in warmth and calm. Beyond the window, snow keeps falling. Slow, quiet, endless. But here, within, you are adrift on the calm tide of breath and sleep. There is nothing more to remember, nothing more to hold. Only this moment, this breath, and the peaceful surrender that follows. Float gently now, as if you were part of the snow itself, drifting downward, coming to rest in perfect stillness. The winter night has become a quiet so deep it feels almost sacred. Outside, snow still drifts in patient, unhurried silence, layering the prairie in soft white, until even memory feels hushed. Inside the cabin, warmth and stillness gather around you like an old quilt. Your breath moves so slowly now, each inhale quiet and steady, each exhale softer, as if the air itself were whispering you to rest. Perhaps, in the dim space behind your closed eyes, you glimpse gentle fragments, the soft curve of snow piled against a fence rail, a barn roof sagging under winter's careful weight, or the last faint glow of ember light dancing low along the walls. These images do not ask you to see them clearly. They appear and drift away without effort, comforting not in detail but in their softness and calm. Your body lies heavy, fully surrendered to the pull of the bed, muscles loose, limbs slack, shoulders gently settled into straw and wool. Each slow breath deepens this weight, anchoring you more firmly in the quiet. Beyond the window, the prairie is hidden in shadow, and drifting snow. Fence posts vanish, footprints are gently covered, and even the horizon dissolves into whiteness. Yet none of this cold, none of this darkness can touch you now. Inside, the last ember in the hearth glows faintly still. Its dim, orange light flickering across rough timbers before fading again into shadow. Even the small flame seems to breathe slowly, matching your own calm rhythm. Thoughts grow so soft they barely form at all, more feeling than word, more warmth than memory, until they vanish into the deeper quiet beyond thought. So stay here, dear listener. Let breath carry you deeper. Let eyelids rest heavier. Let body lie stiller than before. Outside, snow keeps falling, but here, time itself feels paused, held in quiet warmth. There is nothing more to remember. Nothing left to do, only this calm, this breath, this gentle drifting away from waking. Float softly now, like snow settling on quiet fields, becoming part of the hush. The night outside has grown so still. It feels as if even the wind has chosen to rest. Snow continues its slow, patient fall, each flake landing without a sound, softening the prairie into a single, gentle shape. Inside your cabin, the hush has become complete. Breath moves in quiet, measured waves, filling chest and shoulders with calm. Out, letting go of the last thin threads of wakefulness. Even your heartbeat feels slower now, a steady, comforting rhythm beneath the layers of wool and straw. Perhaps now, in the soft darkness behind your eyes, you see only faint impressions. A snowdrift, leaning gently against a wooden fence, the curved shadow of a water bucket half buried in white, or the last ember in the hearth, glowing softly like a small promise of warmth. These shapes are not sharp memories, but drifting feelings. They ask for nothing, hold no story to finish, only offer a quiet presence before fading back into the calm. Your body lies heavy, so deeply settled, it feels as though it has always belonged to this bed. Blankets press gently across your chest, each slow breath rising and falling beneath their soft weight. Shoulders rest, hands lie open and still, and every muscle loosens further with each gentle exhale. Outside, the prairie's features vanish under winter's quiet work. Paths, barns, and fences soft until they become part of the endless white. Yet none of this cold finds its way past the warmth wrapped around you now. The faint ember in the hearth flickers low, a soft orange heartbeat against the darkness. It, too, seems to rest, no longer burning to warm the room, but simply glowing quietly beside you. Thoughts arrive only as distant whispers, softer than snowfall. They pass through without staying, until even the idea of thinking fades into the hush. So remain here, dear listener. Float gently on your breath. Feel the calm settle deeper into your chest, into your limbs. Beyond the window, snow keeps falling in its patient, endless dance. But here inside, you have already drifted beyond its reach. There is nothing left to remember, no task to finish, no word to hold on to. Only this breath, this warmth, this peaceful surrender. Let yourself drift further still, like snow coming to rest on a quiet field, unnoticed yet perfectly at peace. The winter night has become something so gentle and complete. It feels as though the world itself has decided to sleep. Outside, snow drifts down in endless silence, settling softly across fences, rooftops, and empty fields, until everything is hidden beneath a patient white hush. Inside your small cabin.com has deepened to its quietest form. Breath moves slowly, and carrying cool, restful air into your chest, out releasing even the thought of staying awake. The slow rise and fall of blankets across your chest becomes a soft rhythm that soothes without effort. Perhaps now, behind your eyelids, you see almost nothing at all, only gentle shades of darkness, softer than shadow, drifting past without shape or need. Or maybe faint, faded glimpses appear. The line of a fence half buried in snow, a single lantern left unlit by the door, the bend of an old branch under winter's quiet weight. These shapes do not call to you. They simply appear and drift away, leaving behind only calm. They are not stories to remember or places to revisit, only quiet impressions fading into stillness. Your body has become so heavy now that it feels almost part of the bed itself. Blankets press softly from above, straw and wool cradle from below, until you feel completely held by the hush. Muscles loosen fully, hands lie unmoving, and even the small tension of thought slips quietly away. Outside, the prairie's sharp lines are gone, everything covered, softened, erased by snow's slow, endless work, until the world feels less like a place and more like a quiet breath. Within, the faint ember in the hearth glows as gently as memory itself. It's like barely touches the old wooden walls, flickering just enough to promise warmth without stirring weight. Thoughts come now as shadows without shape, gentle, wordless feelings that drift across your mind before melting into the wider quiet. So stay here, dear listener. Remain wrapped in warmth and stillness, your breath so slow it feels like part of the hush. Beyond the window, snow keeps falling, patient and soft. But here, within, you are already drifting, floating beyond the need to see or remember. There is nothing left to do, nothing to recall, nothing to hold. Only this soft moment, this breath, this gentle surrender to the deeper quiet. Let yourself fall further now, like snow sinking through the night air, coming to rest, without sound, without thought, perfectly at peace. The night is settled so deeply now that even time feels as though it has grown still. Outside, snow keeps falling in slow, steady silence, covering every path, every memory of footsteps, until the prairie becomes a single, unbroken field of quiet white. Inside, the hush has become part of your very breathing. Each inhale, soft and cool. Each exhale, slower still, carrying away even the faintest ripple of thought. Blankets lie heavy and warm across your chest and legs, pressing gently behind closed eyes. What remains are not stories, but softer impressions. Perhaps a glimpse of snow bending the roof of an old shed, or the faint outline of fence rails half buried and soft by drifts, or nothing at all. Only the dark, gentle calm that feels deeper than sleep itself. These images do not stay. They come and go like distant echoes, fading before you can hold them. And with each fading thought, your mind becomes quieter, emptier, a peaceful openness that asks for nothing. Your body lies fully surrendered now, arms resting unmoving, shoulders slack, every muscle slackened under the warm weight of blankets. The mattress beneath feels softer still, as though it has shaped itself perfectly to hold you. Outside, the cold and darkness remain, but they can no longer reach you. The walls of your small cabin, the glow of the last ember, and the soft tide of your breath have created a space beyond winter's reach. The faint ember in the hearth glows dimly, less flame than memory now. Yet it's quiet. Light remains steady, as if keeping watch while you drift beyond awareness. Thoughts have grown so slow that they no longer feel like thoughts at all. Only soft pulses of calm, rising and fading without words, until even those dissolve into deeper stillness. So remain here, dear listener, wrapped in the hush, held gently between breath and heartbeat. Beyond the window, snow keeps falling in its patient, endless dance. But here, inside, you are already far beyond its reach, adrift in a quiet sea of rest. There's no need to hold on to anything, no need to remember or return. Only this breath, this warmth, this gentle slipping away, floats softly now, like snow drifting down through silent night air, coming to rest at last in perfect peace. The night outside has become a vast, quiet expanse, snow drifting endlessly down, hiding every path, every sign of yesterday's work. Under soft, patient white, the prairie seems to breathe slowly in the dark, its shape lost beneath winter's careful hand. Inside, the hush is deeper than words. Your breath moves gently, so slow now that it feels as if the air itself must pause between each rise and fall. Blankets lie heavy and warm, pressing your body gently into the straw mattress beneath. Comforting weight that asks nothing from you but stillness. Behind closed eyes, thoughts have faded almost completely. What remains are softer than memory. A faint curve of a roof softened by snow. The gentle bend of a fence rail under white weight. Or perhaps just darkness itself, felt as calm rather than seen. These images come and go, like small ripples in a still pond, never disturbing the quiet. Each one drifts away, without effort, leaving behind only deeper calm. Your body has grown heavier still, arms slack at your sides, shoulders soft into the bed, legs resting, unmoving under layered wool. Even the small effort of thought has fallen silent, replaced by a slow, steady drift into deeper quiet. Outside, snow continues its slow, tireless work, erasing every sharp edge until the prairie becomes a single, gentle shape. But none of that cold finds its way past your walls, past your breath, past the slow warmth you keep. The last ember in the hearth glows dimly. Its light softer than memory now, but it still holds its place. quiet and warm beside you. Its glow flickers faintly against timber and floor, then fades back into shadow, as though even the ember itself has chosen to rest. Thoughts are softer now than a whisper, so faint they leave no trace behind. What remains is not words, but the quiet rhythm of breath and the weight of blankets, comforting and sure. So stay here, dear listener. Let yourself drift further still, beyond even the sense of drifting. Beyond the window, the snow keeps falling, slow, unhurried, without end. But here inside, you are already far from cold and far from waking. There is nothing left to remember, nothing to do, only this soft moment, this breath, and the gentle surrender that follows. Float down now, like snowflakes settling through a winter night, coming to rest in perfect, silent peace. The night outside stretches wider than thought now, a patient darkness covering the prairie under its quiet hand. Snow keeps falling, soft and unhurried, smoothing every fence and path until the world itself feels erased into calm. Inside the cabin, silence has settled so deeply that it feels part of you. Breath moves in slow, steady rhythm, in cool and calming, out softer still. Each exhale releasing what little wakefulness remains. Blankets rest heavy on your chest and shoulders, their familiar weight comforting, as though the hush itself has shape. Behind closed eyes, there is almost nothing left to see. Perhaps a dim sense of pale snow lying over fence rails, or the gentle slope of drifts leaning against the cabin walls. But even these images blur before they can fully appear, fading back into the greater quiet. These are not thoughts to hold. They drift past like distant echoes, leaving only a deeper calm in their wake. Your body lies heavy, so still, now that even the idea of moving feels like a distant memory. Shoulders slacken further, hands rest unmoving, legs settled into the straw mattress until they feel almost weightless. Outside, the snow hides every sharp edge of the prairie, every sign of the day that came before, but the cold it carries cannot reach you. The hush inside the cabin has grown stronger than winter's touch. The last ember in the hearth glows faintly, its orange light softer than candlelight, softer even than memory. Its slow flicker offers comfort, not in warmth alone, but in the simple promise of something familiar, something quietly alive in the darkness. Thoughts have grown so slow now that they are less than whispers, soft pulses that rise gently and fade without leaving shape or sound behind. So remain here, dear listener. Let each breath carry you deeper, past words, past memory, into a place where thought itself has grown silent. Beyond the window, snow keeps falling, patient and endless. But here, within, you are already adrift in the softer tide of sleep. There is nothing left to remember, nothing left to know, only this breath, this calm, and the gentle falling inward that follows. Float further now, like snow settling on a quiet field, unnoticed, yet perfectly at rest. The winter night has become a slow, breathing hush that feels as if it wraps around the world itself. Outside, snow drifts softly downward, each flake landing without sound, smoothing the prairie into a single, quiet expanse. Inside your small cabin, calm has deepened until it feels like part of your very breath, in cool and steady, filling the chest with quiet, softer still, carrying the last fragments of wakefulness gently away. Blankets press lightly, a soft and familiar weight that asks nothing from you except stillness. Behind your closed eyes, even thought itself has grown dim. Perhaps only the vaguest shapes remain. A snow-covered fence, blurred by drifting flakes, or the slow bend of a roofline softened under winter's weight. Yet even these fade before they can settle, leaving only gentle darkness. These are not memories to hold or stories to follow. They drift through the mind like shadows passing through fog, leaving calm in their place. Your body lies fully at rest now, shoulders slack, arms quiet at your sides, legs heavy and unmoving under the blankets. The straw mattress cradles each curve so perfectly, it feels as though it remembers you. Beyond the window, the prairie lies hidden beneath its white covering. Paths vanish, fences dissolve into drifts, and the world outside feels farther away with every breath. Yet none of that cold can touch you now. The quiet inside these walls holds you more closely than any blanket. The last ember in the hearth glows faintly still, softer now than even a thought. Its small, patient light brings a sense of warmth, more felt than seen, a gentle promise that remains even as the night deepens. Thoughts come only as the faintest whispers, not words, not memories, but gentle pulses of calm that rise and fade without effort. Even the sense of thinking drifts further away, replaced by a soft, quiet openness. So stay here, dear listener. Remain wrapped in warmth, breath slow and steady, each exhale carrying you further from the waking world. Beyond the window, snow keeps falling in its endless, patient dance. But here, within, you have drifted beyond its reach, far into the softer tide of rest. There is nothing left to hold on to, nothing to finish or recall. Only this breath, this warmth, and the gentle surrender that follows. Float softer now, like snow settling unseen on a quiet field, coming to rest in perfect, peaceful silence. The night outside feels endless now. A patient, unmoving hush settled gently over snow-covered fields. Each flake drifts downward, without hurry, hiding what came before, under quiet layers of white until the prairie becomes formless, soft, and still. Inside the cabin, the quiet has grown so deep, it feels part of every breath you take in. Cool, calming air filling your chest. Out, softer still, each exhale carrying thought itself further away. The familiar weight of blankets press us, gently a comfort so steady. It feels older than memory. Behind your closed eyes, there is almost nothing left to see. Perhaps only the faintest sense of shapes, a snow-draped fence, lost beneath drifting flakes, or the dim outline of the hearth, as last ember glow. Yet even these fade before they truly appear, dissolving into calm darkness. They bring no story, no need to hold them, only soft impressions that pass gently through the quiet of your mind. Your body lies heavy, completely at rest, arms still at your sides, shoulders loose, legs unmoving under warm wool and straw. Even the mattress beneath feels softer now, as if it too has grown still. Outside, fences, sheds, and paths have vanished under snow's slow work. The prairie, once wide and marked by lines, has become a single, unbroken field of white and shadow. Yet none of that cold finds you now. The hush inside this room holds you closer than winter ever could. The last ember in the hearth glows low, its light softer than a sigh, a gentle warmth that stays quietly beside you, asking nothing except your rest. Thoughts arrive only as the faintest ripples, less than words, softer than memory. They rise and fade without effort, until even the sense of thinking dissolves into the deeper calm beyond. So remain here, dear listener, breath slow and steady, body heavy and warm, mind drifting beyond need or question. Beyond the window, snow keeps falling in its endless, silent dance. But here, within, you float far beyond its reach, wrapped in stillness. There is nothing left to remember, nothing to complete. Only this breath, this warmth, and the gentle drift inward, full, softer now, like a snowflake, coming to rest, unseen but perfectly at peace. The winter night outside feels as though it might stretch on without end. Snow keeps falling in its quiet, patient way, covering every path and memory until the prairie becomes nothing but gentle whiteness under a silent sky. Inside the cabin, calm has become deeper than thought. Your breath moves slowly, each inhale cool and soft, each exhale carrying you further from the edges of waking. Blankets lie warm and steady over your chest. their gentle weight pressing you deeper into the mattress. Behind your closed eyes, what remains is softer than vision, perhaps a faint impression of a fence hidden beneath drifting snow, or the last ember glow fading against the dark timbers. But these are not images you must keep. They drift past like distant echoes, dissolving before they fully form. They ask for nothing. No story to finish, no memory to hold, only quiet presence that fades back into stillness. Your body lies heavy now, so settled that it feels almost part of the bed itself, shoulders slack, arms resting quietly, hands warm beneath layers of wool. Even the faint pull of thought grows softer, until it disappears entirely. Outside, the prairie lies smoothed under the slow, endless fall of snow. Fences, paths, and rooftops blend into one white expanse, without edge or shape. But none of that cold finds you here. The hush inside these walls is thicker than winter itself. The ember in the hearth still glows, its light softer than breath. A patient, living warmth that watches quietly as you drift further into rest. Thoughts come now only as the gentlest ripples, softer than the quietest whisper. They pass without weight or sound, leaving only a calm emptiness behind. So stay here, dear listener, wrapped in warmth, breath slow and steady, your body heavy and unmoving. Beyond the window, snow keeps falling in its slow, endless dance. But here, within, you are far beyond its reach, drifting deeper into the quiet sea of sleep. There is nothing left to remember, nothing left to say, only this breath, this warmth, this soft surrender. Float further now, like snow drifting silently through the night. Come into rest in perfect, peaceful stillness. The winter night outside has settled into a hush, so deep it feels as though the world itself has chosen to rest. Snow keeps falling in slow, unbroken silence, smoothing the prairie into a single, gentle expanse of white. Inside your cabin, the quiet has grown thick around you, becoming part of every breath. In cool and calm, filling your chest gently. Out, softer still, carrying away the faintest threads of thought. The familiar weight of blankets holds your body in perfect stillness, a comfort so steady it feels older than memory. Behind your closed eyes, even memory itself has grown soft. Perhaps only the vaguest impressions remain. A roofline bowed gently under snow, a fence hidden beneath drifts, the faint ember light flickering low against timber walls. But these images drift away almost before they appear, leaving only darkness, soft and without edge. They do not call for you to hold them. They bring no story to follow, only a quiet presence. Before fading back into calm, your body lies heavy, fully at rest, shoulders slack, arms still, legs unmoving under the soft press of wool and straw. Even the small effort of thinking has faded, replaced by the gentle drift of breath and the warmth that wraps around you. Outside, the prairie's lines are gone, hidden by winter's patient hand. Yet none of that cold finds you here. The hush within these walls holds you more closely than the fiercest frost ever could. The last ember in the hearth glows, softer than memory now. Its patient warmth remains beside you, a small, living promise in the darkness. Thoughts have grown so faint, they barely stir at all. Only quiet pulses that rise and fade without leaving shape. Even the sense of drifting itself has softened, becoming less thought and more feeling. So remain here, dear listener, breath slow, body heavy and warm, your mind floating gently beyond need or thought. Beyond the window, snow keeps falling, its slow, endless dance continuing through the night. But here, inside, you drift far from its reach, wrapped in the gentle tide of sleep. There is nothing left to finish, nothing left to hold. Only this breath, this hush, and the deeper calm that follows. Float further still, like snow coming to rest unnoticed on quiet ground, part of the stillness at last. The night outside has settled into its deepest quiet, a hush so complete it feels almost timeless. Snow drifts softly downward, layer by layer, until even memory seems wrapped beneath its patient white covering. Inside the cabin.com has thickened into something deeper than thought. Breath moves so slowly now, carrying cool, silent air into your chest. Out. Softer still. Each exhale letting go of what little remains of weight. Blankets rest heavy and sure, over shoulders and chest, pressing your body gently into the straw mattress beneath. Behind your closed eyes, even faint impressions begin to fade. Perhaps the soft shape of snow gathered against the cabin wall, or the gentle bend of the last ember light along rough wooden beams. Yet these are no longer images to keep. They slip away before you can truly see them, leaving only darkness, gentle and quiet. They ask for nothing, bring no story to finish, only pass softly, like whispers carried on still air. Your body lies fully at rest now, so deeply settled that it feels part of the bed itself. Arms loose, shoulders slack, legs unmoving beneath the warm, familiar weight of layered wool. Outside, fences, paths, and sheds are lost under snow's slow work, yet none of that cold finds you. The hush inside this small room holds you more completely than winter's longest night. The ember in the hearth glows faintly, its orange light softer than a memory now. It burns not to warm the room, but simply to be a gentle presence beside your drifting rest. Thoughts come only as shadows. Now, less than words, softer than breath. They rise without sound and fade without trace, until even the idea of thought becomes distant and quiet. So stay here, dear listener. Breath slow and steady, body heavy and still, your mind floating gently beyond thought, beyond the window. Snow keeps falling, quiet, patient, unending. But here, within, you drift deeper into rest, far from cold, far from waking. There is nothing left to remember, nothing left to hold. Only this breath, this warmth, and the gentle falling inward. Float softer still, like snow settling unseen in the night. At last part of the greater husk, the night outside has become a quiet so complete it feels like the world itself has paused to breathe. Snow drifts softly, endlessly downward, until fields, fences, and rooftops are hidden beneath its patient white embrace. Inside the cabinet.com has settled deeper than words. Breath moves slowly, cool and steady, filling the chest without effort. Out, softer still, carrying away the faintest echoes of thought. The warm press of blankets over your chest and shoulders feels steady and comforting, as though the quiet itself has weight. Behind closed eyes, even the gentlest shapes have faded. Perhaps only a hint remains. A snow-laden roof, barely seen through drifting flakes, or the last faint glow of ember light along the wall. Yet even these slip away before they truly form, dissolving into soft darkness. They bring no need to remember, no story to complete, only a passing calm that leaves silence in its place. Your body lies deeply settled now, so still that even the idea of movement feels far away. Shoulders slack, arms resting gently, legs heavy and unmoving under the blankets. Outside, the prairie has vanished under snow's slow, careful work. Paths and fences erased, until the land becomes a single, unbroken field of quiet. But none of that cold reaches you now. The hush within these walls holds you closer than winter's longest night. The last ember in the hearth glows, softer still, its light barely touching timber and floor. Yet its quiet warmth remains beside you, asking nothing, only offering presence. Thoughts come now only as the faintest ripples, softer than a sigh, leaving no shape behind. Even the sense of drifting itself feels less like thought, more like gentle surrender. So stay here, dear listener. Breath slow and steady, body warm and heavy, your mind floating beyond words, beyond the window. Snow keeps falling in its patient, endless dance. But here, inside, you drift deeper still into rest, far from cold, far from waking. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to remember. Only this moment, this hush, and the deeper calm that follows. Float further still, like snow, settling unseen on quiet ground, perfectly at peace. The winter night has reached its quietest hour now, so deep and still, it feels as though even time itself has chosen to rest. Outside, snow drifts down in slow, patient silence, covering every path and memory beneath a soft, endless white. Inside the cabin, breath has slowed almost to the rhythm of sleep itself. In gentle and cool, filling your chest softly. Out softer still, each exhale carrying away what little remains of waking thought. The weight of blankets rests warmly over shoulders and chest, pressing your body gently into the bed, holding you in perfect calm. Behind your closed eyes, there is almost nothing left to see, perhaps only the vaguest sense of darkness, softer than shadow, quieter than memory. Even faint impressions, a roof bowed under snow, or the glow of the last ember, have faded now into stillness. They ask for nothing, offer no story, only dissolve gently, leaving calm in their wake. Your body lies fully at rest, so deeply settled, it feels part of the hush itself. Shoulders soft, arms unmoving, legs heavy and warm beneath the blankets. Outside, the prairie is hidden beneath the night's long work. Fences, barns, and paths smoothed away by drifting snow. Yet none of that cold can touch you here. The quiet inside these walls is deeper than winter's longest breath. The ember in the hearth glows faintly still, softer than memory, softer than thought. Its gentle warmth remains beside you, steady and unhurt. Thoughts have fallen away now, leaving only the soft tide of breath, the slow beat of a calm heart. Even the idea of thought drifts off, until only stillness remains. So rest here, dear listener. Breath slow and quiet, body heavy and unmoving, mind adrift beyond words. Beyond the window, snow keeps falling, slow, endless, unbroken. But here, you float deeper than its reach, wrapped in warmth, wrapped in quiet. There is nothing left to remember, nothing left to hold, only this breath, this hush, and the gentle surrender that follows. And now, let sleep come, like snow settling unseen into deepest night, quiet, complete, and perfectly at peace. Sleep well, drift softly, and let the night hold you.